Don't normally like to double dip on stories like this, but when you have such a historic amount of bail and conflicting stories as to whether that bail could have been matched by his family and how quickly all of this stuff is developing, better get on it now. And yeah, also I'll be double dipping on this story probably on Saturday because there was also some other stuff that developed recently about two of his former confidants flipping on him like I theorized beforehand, so I want to do a deep dive on each of them individually. So that should be coming out, I think, Saturday. I have it all set aside for that. So if you're interested in that, you can wait for that. But as of right now, the new break in hotness, okay? Here I was thinking we had a story with him kind of living in comparatively the lap of luxury at Fox Hill. Yeah, that was the prison's name in the Bahamas. But no. He got flued out in the middle of the night, I guess. Holy, because this was a quick turnaround. Because I seen this when I went to research everything else that was going on here today. And I see, oh, okay, cool. Bankman-Fried has been expedited. Well, that's how quickly he got across. But he got extradited to the United States. And he was to meet with a judge quickly, okay? And I didn't realize that would be within a couple of hours. And definitely didn't realize that there was going to be a ruling on this very, very quickly, okay? I was like, what are you guys trying to hide here? It was very interesting. So FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried to be released on a quarter billion dollar bail. Sorry, what? Yeah, no, this is the all-time highest bail that's ever been set. Yeah, but who's coming up with that money? And I understand that it's, what, 10%, even if it's just cash. But still, who has $25 million lying around? His parents, allegedly. His well-connected parents. After, yes, returning to the United States from the Bahamas, despite claiming he had just $100,000 to his name. Bro, we already know that you can't account for over $8 billion, $8.6 billion, I think, if we're being precise about this. You just don't know where any of that stuff is, but you're willing to tell us, and you're trying to pull the wool over all of our eyes by saying, I only have $100,000. It's like, bro, that's total cap. Fallen FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried will be released on a $250 million bond. That's impressive. Not unwarranted, but it's still impressive nonetheless. According to a deal struck today in a New York City courtroom. Oh, so he got flued out from the Bahamas all the way to New York City. He's getting tried in the SDNY. Very interesting, very interesting. The disgraced financier had recently claimed that he has just $100,000 to his name. He was arrested in the Bahamas last week on a range of fraud and money laundering charges, 8 in total for a grand amount of 115 years behind bars, which I still prophesize he's only going to end up, he'll get some sweetheart deal. Oh, it's his first defense and that's really bad, and he'll just end up doing at best a couple, but probably more than likely a decade at Club Fed. They allege that he used his crypto trading platform as a personal piggy bank, convincing investors to mark their billions and billions with him only to funnel their assets to his own company. His alleged scheme was revealed when FTX filed for bankruptcy in November. Today, a judge agreed to grant him bail, the largest pretrial amount in U.S. history, and 25 times the $10 million bond posted by Bernie Madoff. Yeah, but his scam was far more sizable than Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. Bernie was dealing with $64.8 billion back in the day. He was dealing with hundreds of billions. Guy, it's close. 4 people, including his parents. Oh, he got his mommy and his daddy to come down and say he's a good boy. He can stay with us for a while. And one other relative vouched for him. Oh, that's nice. Hillary Bankman-Fried showed up. The fuck? Takeout? Is he Karen outside the courtroom? That's fucking wild. Anyways, the agreement is a recognized bond signed by Bankman-Fried's parents and 2 other individuals with considerable assets. Clinton's. His parents guaranteed it would be, they'd be using the equity of their home, but neither they nor the other parties are required to put up the full cash amount to secure his freedom. Yeah, it's normally 10% at best, and you can just, if it makes sense on paper, they can make it work that way. Instead, they will be held liable if he fails to show up to court. Well, they'll just drag him in, okay? They'll just make sure that he's wearing his nicest suit and that he's all nice and squeaky clean whenever this does go to court. Are we gonna get a trial date on this one, or any sort of updated scheduling on this? Because that's what else I'd like to know. He spoke only to confirm that he understood the charges and the bail agreements. Like, yes, my mom and dad will talk for the rest of me. His parents, Stanford law professor Barbra and Allan. Oh man, why you got to do me like that? I guess I'm doxing myself with that one. That's the proper way to spell Allan as well. Have agreed to put up their equity of their own, in their $4 million California home. What about the Bahamas residence that they're out at? Anyways, where he will live during his house arrest as part of the bail requirement. So they're going to live in California even though he's getting tried in Manhattan. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So there's billions of dollars still out there. Okay, they're going to try to put their parents on the hook for $250 million at best. Oh, okay, cool. And he's allowed to just be under home arrest in California. Does anybody else see the problem with any of this stuff? I'm just wondering, man. Bankman-Fried has also been charged in the range of fraud and money laundering charges after allegedly stealing $1.8 billion from his crypto trading platform, FTX, to fund his own life. Yep. Federal prosecutors and investigators say from the SEC, said that he used the platform like a personal piggy bank to fund his own lifestyle. Well, now he's got a couple of other people to take care of. Okay, so what fucking drawing is this? Okay, because he looks way more menacing in that picture right there. And what the fuck's that guy back there with the fucking pentagram on his sweatshirt? I want to know what that dude's all about. What the fuck is that, man? Yo, that looks like Tilda Swinton in a fucking Lyle Lovett wig. I hate it. That's his mom. Oof. I guess we can see where he gets all of his good looks from. Bankman-Fried was arrested in the Bahamas last week and was extradited to New York. Yeah, and nobody had time frames on this shit. And then all of a sudden, now he's released a record bond. He'll just be out in California. Nobody worry about any of this stuff. Okay, prosecutors told the court that SBF committed fraud of epic proportions. The judge agreed to his prosecution that the weight of the evidence was strong. So you're gonna allow him to live, okay? Oh, he'll be able to spend the holidays. Cool, we got some scheduling down there. Okay, January 3rd. So he's gonna be across the country. Like, you can't find two diametrically opposed locations more so than Southern California and Manhattan. What are we doing here? Another term of his bail agreement is wearing an electronic ankle monitor. Oh, that's good, because those aren't forgeable. He is banned from opening any new lines of credit. Oh, okay, cool. But what about getting a metal detector, a shovel, and giving people a canvas map to find his wares? Must remain within the Northern District of California and must undergo mental health counseling after complaining of depression in the previous proceedings. Oh, yes, you can go lie down on a couch in Northern California. I'd imagine this is probably the San Francisco area, if we're being completely honest. Yeah, because, they're from Stanford. Of course it's going to be. Durr. His parents, Barbra and Allan, accompanied him to court today and in the Bahamas. Barbra is said to have laughed every time the judge referred to her son as a fugitive. What a smug bitch. I've got stronger words for that, but I'd like to keep this one monetized. Fuck, if this guy can go ahead and defraud a bunch of people, man, I can go and take some of Google's money. How about that? According to a recent report from the Washington Free Beacon, the couple not only own their $4 million home in Stanford, but also vacation property in the Bahamas. Yeah, known about that. That'd have to get put up for collateral? Yeah, I don't think so. It's unclear how much they paid for the beachfront apartment, but it is part of the $121 million portfolio purchased under the funds from FTX, the report claimed. So are they going to be allowed to keep that? I'm wondering, man, because if all of this stuff ends up getting finalized, there's a lot of people who got some stuff through ill-begotten gains. Are they going to be allowed to keep that? But it's funny, right? His arrest, was all presaging the fact that he was going to have to testify by video conference because he couldn't be asked. Remember, I talked about this at the time. He couldn't be asked to show up in person, okay? He was busy. He had places to be and people to see and, more funds to shuffle around, of course. But then he got snatched up the day before he was supposed to testify in front of Congress. Bruh. And some of his script that was out there, it's like, I'm sorry to everybody that I offended with my actions. And I'll make sure if you guys get offended again in the future, I'll make sure to point out that those are your feelings and your feelings alone, and I'm a good boy and I didn't do nothing. Basically, he was not taking any responsibility for his actions. This motherfucker's wilding out here. Due to testify, yes, before Congress about his failed business, and in a leaked testimony claimed that he just had $100,000 to his name. That's just a boy out here on the streets with 6 digits in his pocket and a fucking 4 waiting for him back. Actually, 4 is being a little bit too generous. I would say a 2, maybe. But that he could make all his investments, who lost money, whole again. Yeah, because he knows where all that money is. Oh, I can't account for like $8 billion of it, but, you know, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Bankman-Fried's ex-girlfriend and former CEO, Carolyn Ellison, has entered a plea deal with prosecutors to avoid charges of her own. Ooh, spoiler for one of the videos on Saturday there, my guy. Come on now. We'll just go ahead and cover that a little bit more further then, okay? Yeah, we got Ellison, then we got this Wang fellow as well, or some shit like that, but I'll talk about that then. And it's like, well, of course, man, she was facing a lot of time there, 110 years and just about the similar charges. It's like, okay, if she was so instrumental in all this stuff, why'd she get the sweetheart deal? Well, I've got to draw on some expertise from some of the other stuff that I'm talking about at the same time to properly cover that video, but anticipate that video when it comes out. I'm pretty sure Saturday, okay? And if there's any developments tomorrow, I'll talk about it, but I'm not entirely sure there will be, really, unless, of course, you know, the plane magically goes over or goes down while transporting everybody back in just some sort of sudden adult death syndrome sort of situation up in the sky, because nothing would really surprise me at this fucking point. But until that time, that'll be all you'll be hearing about FTX, okay? Buddy got bond out there at a historic rate. Just don't really know if all the numbers work out, but isn't that kind of par for the course with this family right here? Very interesting, smug, well-connected individuals that may or may not end up going to trial on this one. We'll have to see how this all shakes out. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.